Hi there, welcome back to part 2 with Barry Cooper, former Texas lawman, now director of Never Get Busted DVDs, and he's going to tell us something that we need to know, and that's how do people bullshit you? How do you tell? How does a cop tell when people are bullshitting? Because you are taught that when people are lying, they do certain things.
Yeah, and I have to say every arrest I made, every narcotics arrest I made,
and we're talking thousands or hundreds?
800 accredited to me personally. Now, I might do 2 a day and then do 3 with that night with other cops.
Yeah.
So thousands. Right. Thousands, yeah. Bought and sold kilos undercover. Trained narcotics. Well, you told that.
Well, we're going to talk. We get to those things.
Yeah.
People lie, though. What do they do?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. All the arrests I made, I used these tools. One of the top 3 indicators of deception in the FBI polygraph manual, that's a lie detector test, is hand-to-head contact. And you notice if you're telling a lie at home or you know somebody's lying, but you don't want to expose it, and every time they lie, almost every time, they'll either wipe their nose or they'll play with their ear or they'll adjust their cap. And I would fast forward my traffic stops of people that I caught with pot in their car, and in fast forward, it looks like they're beating themselves up in the head. There's so much hand-to-head contact. So that's a number. So keep your hands off of your head when you're around law enforcement.
Yeah, and when you're playing poker, or you encourage a whole bunch of when you're cheating on your wife. I mean, not that I'm advocating that anymore.
But you're right.
To lie to a police officer, but that's interesting that human beings.
And if a cop starts touching his hand to his head, see, you can use this to discover an informant that's lying to you or an undercover cop, because that undercover cop will do the same when he's lying to you about what he really does. He'll be doing a lot of this, so stay away from people that.
That's fascinating.
Another great place to conceal your stash is in your hand.
When a police officer first comes out of the police academy, simply writing a traffic ticket, that involvement raises the adrenaline level. After you've done that 500 times, then disturbance calls, and then bar fights, and then, that's why the home life of police officers is horrible. And
why is that?
The byproduct of adrenaline is called anoadrenaline, and it's a horrible toxin to the body. And just the stoic personality that comes with that type of work. Husbands and wives fight all the time in that profession. But the point is that the adrenaline levels, we need more and more and more and more and more to feel good. I've talked to interdiction officers that would tell me, I'm depressed, I haven't caught a load in a week. And they were really depressed. The wives would be telling me they're depressed. So you subconsciously learn little tricks until you figure out, that's how I did that. They teach in the police academy, and as soon as you catch somebody with drugs, you cuff them right then. Well, catching somebody with drugs no longer worked for me to get that adrenaline I needed. So I'd say, you're under arrest for possession of crack cocaine. And I would turn around and walk to the patrol car and start filling out paperwork, hoping they would run. So now I'm in a chase and a fight with the drug dealer, and that got the adrenaline level I needed, see. The same with, they teach when you meet a speeder and you're working traffic, you turn around on the suspect's vehicle and get close to the suspect and then turn your lights on so they won't run. They're thinking you're right there. Well, I would wait till they got way ahead and turn around and turn my red and blues on, and they'd be a half a mile down the road, tempting them because high-speed chases get that adrenaline rush. So yeah, that's the psychology behind these cops beating people and carrying things to extremes. And then the cops have to come up with some kind of masking agent to hide their true motives, and it's usually, we're here to protect the kids.
What other things should people remember in dealing with any encounter with a police officer?
They really aren't your friend. Unfortunately, the war on drugs has caused a bad name for cops. And I want to get the good name for cops back, and they're there to protect. They used to arrive at a scene to see who they can help. Now they have this spirit, they arrive at a scene to see who they can arrest. So police officers really are not your friend. If they do a job and rescue you, that's their job. That doesn't mean they're your friend. Mm-hmm. That's their duty. That's what they're called to do. And they try to use this friend thing a lot to gather information from you, and you'll wind up right in jail.
I found that an amazing number of people have been arrested when the police have come ostensibly for a 911 call that didn't happen, or they say we had a call about a break-in on your property or a burglary, or we meet so many people who police gain access to the property by saying there's an emergency. And it would seem in Canada, too, that you can suspend our rights quite readily by just saying we got a 911 call, and you have to let them go through your whole place if they got a 911 call, because, you know, if you do accidentally call 911, the police are obligated, once you made that phone call, to investigate your entire place, see if there's a body somewhere. At least that's what they say. I don't know if they've ever really found a body. Somebody was on the phone dialing 911 and then croaked at that last minute because a murder is going on. But they certainly have used that a lot to get into people's grow rooms and to get their stash and get in their home. And
I can tell you what I would do in that circumstance.
Oh, yeah? Let's hear.
Never, you've been told, this is another tip that might become controversial, but we've been told over and over, if the police come to your door, open the door, step out, and lock the door behind you and talk to them. Trash that. Never open the door for the police, ever. If they have a right to be in your home, they would have kicked your door in.
Probably true.
Good point. Because they're trying to manipulate their way. I did knock and talks. I got 250 pounds on a knock and talk. Knocking, hey, we got a Crime Stoppers tip that you were unloading pot. And, hey, I go get a search warrant. I couldn't. I lied. So if you don't give me permission to search, I'll go get a search warrant. We manipulate our way into your door, and we're good at it, and you're intimidated by us, and you don't have the knowledge we have. You certainly don't have the support that we have, all the cop cars that will come in an instant notice. All that is very entertaining, so do not open your door.